Hey guys, this is the second video for the 24-day challenge. This is the 14 days, the max phase or the burn phase, whichever you want to call it. So I just do this video to give you guys a rundown on what's going to happen next. Couple of things that I'm going to go over first. The first thing I'm going to go over are the difference between the burn days and the refuel days. I'll talk about how the burn days and the refuel days are going to be different for what you're going to eat as far as breakfast and snacks and et cetera, et cetera. And then the refuel days, I'll go through those for you. I'll talk about the M&S. I'm going to talk about both how Omegaplex and Catalyst are going to be changing when you take it, and I'll revisit Spark again. So first, to start off with the burn days, the majority of the days in the second 14 are burn days. You only have a few. If you see on your sheet here, the brown days are your refuel days. You have 4 of them, including day 24, which is your free day. So really, you have 3 of them. Day 12, then again on day 16, and then day 20. So it's really every 4 days. So it's like 3 days and then a refuel day. I would encourage you to try to create, in your mind, think of every day as a burn day, and really not use the refuel days if you can, unless you really, really need them. Okay? You will lose more. You will, more weight on it. It is only 14 days. There's 2 weeks left of this, guys. We've been in it for 10. So we're almost halfway through it. I've talked to everybody. You guys are doing a great job. I want you to keep it up. So I really want you to encourage you to treat every day as a burn day. But there is some, flexibility in the diet, and I do want to go over that with what the refuel days are about. Okay? So first of all, the burn days. Okay, your breakfast is going to change, not to mention the fact that, your breakfast and your snacks are going to change, not to mention now you're taking M&S instead of fiber, and the probiotic and the herbal cleanse. I think those things you're not taking anymore. Hopefully you finished them up. If you haven't made a mistake and, missed them, if you have, no big deal. Just take them when you normally would during the second 14. So if you missed a fiber drink and you want to take it in the morning with your breakfast, that's totally fine. If you missed an herbal cleanse and you want to take it, totally fine. Take it at night. It's not a huge deal. Just to recoup, you might as well be taking them. So use them up. Okay, so breakfast. You wake up in the morning. You're before you have breakfast. You're still going to be taking Spark. Okay, and you're going to have your first packet of M&S. I'll go over that more. Packets of M&S and how you go. So you'll have Spark, and M&S. This is where Catalyst changes. If you're going to have breakfast within an hour of having your Spark and your M&S, do not take Catalyst. Try not to take it. If you're going to have breakfast and then a half an hour later, if you're going to take your Spark and M&S and then a half an hour later, you're going to have breakfast, don't take Spark. Hold off on that. I'll tell you when to take it. If you're going to take your Spark and your M&S and you have a whole bunch of time and you can wait an hour to an hour and a half after, great news, then take the Catalyst. Or if you have that and then you go work out in the morning or take a walk or something and then have breakfast, great, take the Catalyst. But if not, hold off and take Catalyst tonight. Okay? Breakfast. Changes in your breakfast for your burn days. Okay? There's no fruit in breakfast on burn days anymore. Okay? So fruit is now out of your meal, your menu in the morning for breakfast. Okay, your eggs and your vegetables don't change. That scenario is still the same. The ratio is still the same. Your meal replacement shake is still the same, minus the fact you can't put fruit in it for a smoothie anymore. If you want to put some people that have the vanilla, if you're going to put cacao in it to make it chocolate, that's fine, but no more fruit in the morning for breakfast on burn days. Okay. Your snacks, there's again no fruit in snacks. Okay, so fruit is off the menu for your breakfast, your snacks during burn days. Okay. Also, but on that same token, your cashews, your almonds, they're still the same. That doesn't change. And one new thing we get is you can have 1 to 2 teaspoons of peanut butter on itself or with vegetables. So like celery and peanut butter, for instance, is a great snack. Because celery actually is really good for you in general, but it's really good for you with peanut butter. They really work well together and they taste great. So, your snacks also, for your after dinner snack, there's no cashews and almonds after dinner anymore. Okay? So, your after dinner snack, your nighttime snack, it needs to be limited to protein, protein, cashews and almonds, or Catalyst. Okay, and that's when, if you don't take Catalyst for breakfast, that's when you should take Catalyst. Is at night, right before you go to bed, in replacement of the Herbal Cleanse. Okay, you're gonna get your best reaction out of that. Okay. Or if you're going to work out, or in the afternoon if you need energy for a snack, take Catalyst. So a Catalyst, I would suggest using, unless you're going to wait an hour before you have breakfast, take Catalyst now at the end of the day. Okay? So your lunch and your dinners, the good news is they stay the same. Lunch is completely the same as it was before. Nothing is going to change as far as your meals for lunch and dinner. And dinner, again, is the only time now you're going to take Omegaplex. You will not be taking Omegaplex with breakfast. Your Omegaplex for breakfast is in part of your M&S, and I'll go over that in a minute. Okay? So Omegaplex in this canister you're taking with dinner. Okay? Only. You will not be taking this Omegaplex with breakfast. That's Omegaplex is in here. Okay? Your refuel days, if you think of your refuel days, breakfast as the same as it is in the first 10 days. You could put fruit in it, just not as a smoothie in your meal replacement shake, not making it a smoothie, so you could have the meal replacement shake and fruit, just not together, which is because it's breaking down to the fruit. It's just a Advocare thing. And then you could go back to having eggs and oatmeal, or eggs and fruit on the refuel days. Only on refuel days can you have fruit with breakfast. All right, and the oatmeal. Those are the only times you can have a fruit and oatmeal anymore, is on refuel days. And again, M&S doesn't. The meal replacement shakes don't change. You can always have that with the meals. So I encourage people not to. And again, the ratio of 1 to 2 for females and 1 to 4 for males, that stays the same. On a refuel day, this is the big one that some people are looking forward to. You can have on your refuel days, now they don't necessarily have to be day 12, day 16, day 20. If you decide you only want to do 1 refuel day or 2 refuel days, you can shuffle them around as long as they're not next to each other. Make it happen, okay? And the exciting thing about this for some people is you can add that starchy carbohydrate in with lunch, okay? So you're not having a carbohydrate in the means of having like bread and whatever, but you can have your corn type scenarios like fajita rolls, or wraps, or something of that nature, or potatoes. Okay, so that's something that you may want to have for a lunch on your refuel days, taking advantage of that. And for lunch, again, you can have the meal replacement shakes with fruit. Okay, for on your refuel days. Okay, so that should cover pretty much the way your diet's going to be different. Again, you're still having, you still have breakfast, your morning snack, you wake up in the morning, you're having your Spark and your M&S and maybe Catalyst, then you're having your breakfast as usual, and your lunch as usual, the way you have it, and then dinner as usual, and your Spark in your mid-afternoon, after an hour after lunch as usual. That doesn't change, okay? But what's going to change is how your pills are going to be. Okay, so your Omegaplex is you're not going to take in the morning. This is only with dinner now. Okay, you will not be you're not going to have any herbal cleanse now. So now you're going to get packets in your M&S, and they're going to come in a strip, which I'll show you in a minute. But each strip is different. So your E, I guess this is E. No, this is C. C has a different packet than the 3 and the E. The E's are red packets, if I remember correctly. 3s are yellow packet, and the C's are blue packets, I think. I'm not really sure. I can't remember. But they're different, and what's in them is different. So what if you have, say, 2 boxes? I know some people have a box of C and a box of 3, or a box of 3E and a box of 3. Whatever the scenario is, you can chop and change them on the day. But once you open a packet for the day, say you take C for the day, make that for the day, okay? If you're going to take E, make E for the day, or 3 for the day. Don't chop and change in the middle of the day, but you're allowed to chop and change which ones you want. So I don't care if you take M&S, the 3 for every other day, and the E, it doesn't matter. However you want to work it. If you want to do E days you work, and C days you're on the weekend, however, it doesn't really matter. But the packets, when you open a packet for the day, stick with it. Okay? So I'm going to show you M&S 3. It's what I suggest that everyone start off with. It's really a balance between these bottom 2, the C for control and the E for energy. So it's a kind of a balance that I get to show you, and I'll show you what they do, what they look like, and how they go. All right. So this is a typical. This is the strip of M&S you're going to get, and there's 4 separate packets. Okay. There's this top packet, which is 30 minutes before breakfast. There's the second packet, which is 30 minutes before lunch. And then these 2 bottom packets here are either breakfast. You can have them with breakfast or lunch. And again, breakfast or lunch for the bottom packet. So, a couple of suggestions. All right. 1, this is your morning you're going to take with Spark. And you'll see in the back of it here, when you look at it, it's got the probiotic that you're used to taking. I don't know if you can see it from there, but they got some other things that you're different. But this is your probiotic. It's the same thing you've been taking. You're going to be taking it all the way through. So this you take in the morning with your Spark, right as soon as you wake up. Spark, this packet, and maybe Catalyst. All right, right in the morning. Okay. Then you have the rest of the packets. What I would suggest is these 2 packets, instead of, for sake of ease, take both of them for breakfast. Okay? You can take, if you miss it and you have breakfast and you don't take them with breakfast, no big deal. You can have them with lunch. At the worst case scenario, you can have them with dinner, but I really, you should be taking them with the breakfast or lunch. But you could have, like I said, you could have this one with breakfast and this one with lunch, or this one with lunch and this one with breakfast, or both with breakfast or both with lunch. Okay? This packet, the second packet, is my Achilles heel. Okay, my Achilles, because this is when you have to have, and most people find this the most difficult, because you have to have this a half an hour before lunch, which means your planning for your lunch has to be dead on now. Okay, so you have to know a half an hour, minimum a half an hour before you have lunch, you have to take these pills. Okay, it's going to really help you to take them a half an hour before. Worst case scenario, if you get stuck and you need to take them right as you eat, do it, but it's going to help you the most if you take them a half an hour before. Okay? So if you're going to, like, for example, I know Teresa and I, we know when we have our lunches. Okay? Some people do. I know Michelle on some days does as well. If you know when you're going to have your lunch, say our lunch is at 10:45. Set an alarm for 10:10, 10:15. When your alarm goes off, take the pills. Okay, that way when you get to it, your lunch, you've already had your stuff. Okay, and what's nice about it is you get rid of this packet in the morning, you get rid of these packets with breakfast, and there's only this packet left, and that's it. Okay, so that's the way your M&S works. If you have questions about M&S, which ones you want to take, maybe you got a box and you don't want to change it up, whatever the scenario is, or you want another box. okay? Because you have, C and you want to chop and change and do it for a bit longer. After the 24-day challenge, which I highly encourage you, and I'll do a video on 25 plus later, but I highly encourage you to try chop and changing them, okay? Because you might not need if you have E, you're not going to need really E on the weekends if you're relaxing on the beach, okay? Which most people won't be doing in the winter, but all right. So that's your M&S. This is what they look like in the back. I told you the Omegaplex is here, and that's what you're going to be taking with breakfast or lunch. You'll be having this Omegaplex with dinner, so you won't be needing it. But that's pretty much it. Again, have a look at the sheet that's on the back of your the purple, your second purple sheet to go over it for you. You'll have a checklist for on the top of this sheet for your 14 days. So let's have a look at it. I hope you guys are doing the best. If you have any questions, post them up on Facebook. Thanks so much, guys. Talk to you later.